Oh, God. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh my God! Somebody get me a beer stack. All right, welcome to Curious Times, everybody. It's Tuesday, September 20th. Happy autumn. I hate autumn, but whatever, if you like it. If you like it, then it's all good for you. My first hot, beautiful, fresh coffee in a few days here. I had my hair all done nice, and then I ran out and got a bunch of stuff, and then I got home, and it was a little bit foofy, fluffy on the sides, and I didn't like that, so I go, I'll get some gel. Oh, and then I wrecked it entirely. Too much gel. Then I had to soak it down, so my hair looks like really the same as it does every night, right? But it was looking better for a minute. Okay. Woohoo, Canada! Go Canada! Beat the USA! We are the champs. Okay. So we do have Pamala Vincent, as you can see, standing by. I am going to give you a little update on the toothy problem and tell you what's coming up. Barbara DeLong is here tomorrow. No readings. It's just a discussion show, which is bad for me because discussing is not on my favorite list of things right now. Too much talking is not on my favorite list of things right now. Jen and Amy are here Thursday, Friday. Dorothy Holder, Aaliyah Dawn is here Saturday. I do not know what's going on Sunday. Monday, Lisa Lamendula will be doing animal stuff. So maybe animal communication or animal health issues. So I know we have a few people that have some pet things going on lately. And like Stan's pet rock is not feeling well and all that kind of stuff. So we can maybe see if we can get some help for Stan, you know. And so the tooth is still loose. It still hurts. It's better than it was, a little teeny better than yesterday. Think the infection's coming a little bit better. I decided I really had to get out and get some things, and so I looked up high chlorophyll foods, high vitamin C foods, and then I needed some fresh garlic and that. So I went and I got all the stuff. I got parsley and what did I get? I had it all. Oh, here. I got parsley, Jalapenos, parsley, pineapple's good for the vitamin C. Oranges. Pineapple's good too for other things. Got some, I can't read, broccoli. I got lots of fresh garlic, a bunch of spinach. Red peppers is really good. And then I got some ginger and stuff like that. And so anyways, I got home and I was like, didn't have much time. It was like less than an hour to go before show, so I got out the whole Vitamix. Thank God the motor didn't blow the other time. And I got going with parsley, spinach, I threw a carrot in there, hot pepper in there. So I threw all this in there, and then I guzzled it, And it didn't taste all that great, but like that wasn't the point. I need to jack myself up with vitamin C and chlorophyll right now. And I'm feeling a little bit I feel a little bit weird, a little bit off, but it's probably the most nourishment I've had in my system at one time in the last week or so. And so there's the update. I'm now only hoping that, like, if I wish I could just wire my jaw shut, and don't you all wish that you could too, but because I have a feeling like if I could just call in the DEA, if I could just like get, and then go like that, it's all lined up properly, and then not move it for like a week, then I think that it would tighten up and it would be okay again. But every time I think it might be safe to chew on this side, on the good side, I crunch it a little bit, and then that sets me way back. So little doubt that I'll probably be having to get it pulled, but I'm really trying my best to save the damn thing. And I'm chicken shit. I'm really, really, really deathly afraid of dentists, and I know that the pain I have right now is 10 times worse than the stupid needle's going to be, but the needle is what freaks me out. And so once I get past that point, I'm all like, this dentist shit is no problem at all, Anyway, so there's that. I gave you the update. Pamala Vincent is here. She's filling in for Lisa Nolan Shalosky. And if we don't traumatize her too bad, maybe she'll be agreeable to coming on, on the show as a little bit of a regular or something like that even. She is an empath, like many of us, and she and has been since she was a child. And she has always known that she's, supposed to be helping other people. That's very much like me too. That's about where the similarities end. She was led by spirit to read tarot and do energy work. She picked up her first deck of tarot cards over 30 years ago. I picked up my first joint over 30 years ago. I'm teasing. It was longer than 30 years ago. Okay. And this event changed her life and started her gently on her spiritual journey. She started reading professionally about 15 years ago. She's also a master teacher of Usui and Rainbow Reiki. I have that in common, except for mine. I don't know what the hell even Rainbow Reiki is, but Usui, yes. She also teaches classes in Reiki, Chakras, meditation, and Feng Shui. Feng Shui. She does house blessings, clearings, weddings, and funerals. And you can contact Pamela at her Facebook business page at www.facebook.com/guided-by-spirit. So please welcome Pamala Vincent. Hi, Pamela. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How about you, Chris?
I couldn't be better, thank you.
Yeah, don't move that tooth.
I know. I wish that all I want to do is and I'm not even a hamburger eater, but I just want to be able to chomp into a nice big hamburger or whatever I want to eat and just enjoy it, and I can't. Yeah. And anyway, so thanks for filling in for Lisa, and it's our pleasure always to have new people in. Who are you calling Dorothy, Christy? Who are you calling Dorothy? Where's Dorothy? I do not see no Dorothy. Christy, have you been partaking? I think Christy set her own self sideways or something like that. Okay. Anyway, and so clearly you have a pretty the bio says, pretty much everything that we need. So thanks for coming. No, I'm talking. But now, it tells us everything that I would normally ask. You know what I mean? Like, so what got you all interested in? And you don't even look 30 years old. How is it that you could have picked up?
Oh, dear God, thank you.
And so really, how was it that you were? Was it just a fluke that who told you about the tarot, or did you just stumble on them?
I was like 18 years old and picked up my first tarot deck and could read it automatically with no one telling me. And
wow.
And to be honest, it freaked the hell out of me.
Huh?
Because I was raised, those are the devil's cards. And I'm like, so I kind of put them to the side for a while and started unlearning all the dogma I was taught as a child and started following my own path and said, to hell with everybody else. I'll do what feels right to me.
Amen. Yeah. You. So when you say that, does that mean that you already knew what the meanings were, or you were giving accurate readings regardless of what the stupid tarot book said the card was supposed to mean?
I don't know what the tarot book card says. Anybody can read the little white book. I look at it and I look at the pictures, the imagery, and run with whatever the first thing that catches my eye. And I get very accurate readings doing that.
That's
people
good.
are like, and I just met someone over the weekend because we did a metaphysical expo here in Columbus, Ohio. And someone was talking to me about learning tarot, and I'm like, that's not how I read it. And they're like, but wands mean this and that means, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is how I read it.
Yeah. Yeah, good for you. No, that's good. That's the better way, at least in my opinion. And it's and at the end of the day, what the thing is is it helping the person, or is it accurate and all that? And then everyone else can shut up, right?
That's right.
Where's that accent from? Where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh,
Southeast of Columbus, Ohio. I'm a country girl.
Yeah, because you sound more south.
I'm born and raised back in the house I grew up in. Been here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys all agree? Like, who else do I know from Ohio? But I know what you mean. The country is different than the city.
Has a little more twang than the city.
She's south of Canada. Thanks for that, Sam. I appreciate the geography lesson. Did you do a pendulum tutorial? Do you do the pendulum?
I have used the pendulum off and on. You have to make sure that you set your parameters and make sure that only spirit moves it and not your energy, because you can make it move any way you want it to move.
Right. That's where I'm at. I always said, like, if I could get a stand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, it looks like a hangman's, like when you play here, like that.
The little hook thingy? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
If I could do a thing like this.
Yeah.
And then hang it from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then use my energy from my hands, like that without touching it, then I would have some faith in it.
But that's still your energy. You gotta let spirit do it.
Well, it's still okay. Like, well, wait a second. Wait a cotton picking second. Because when we're doing Reiki and stuff, like you're channeling the energy through you, right?
True.
That's the way I would envision that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And is that you're calling upon the universe to help answer these questions through you. You know what I mean? And then I would. But no, if I have to hold that sucker, there's no way that because I know I can manipulate it to go away or another. You know what I mean? And I just don't.
A lot of people don't realize that, though.
Yeah.
I'm finding out, and it's like driving me insane, because to me that's common sense, but because I've been doing it so long.
And I don't want to say that people that are, I have a guest, Hillary Black, and she uses tarot. She's also psychic and a medium, and she will like she does it all really quickly. You know what I mean? And so like she'll be bringing through a message for somebody, and then she'll like without half the time without any one of us even knowing, like you'll maybe see her hand like this in the camera, like she's checking her answer with also like for double checking her answer with her, and she seems to give very accurate readings and everything like that. I just can't for my own self rely on pendulum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just can't. And especially if it were to be a question about myself.
Right, and I have problems with asking yes or no questions. It's like, I've really had problems getting that down. I used to be able to, then it's like, this is boring as heck. Just talk to me, guys.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you can, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that would be like, if you have a Lamborghini in your driveway, why are you riding a bicycle or so? Okay, that's dumb. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Or if you have the first video game ever made, Pong. Okay.
I remember that.
Why would you play that? And while you have like an Xbox or something like that with all the best stuff, whatever. Yeah. I don't have an Xbox, so I don't know what they have on.
I don't know.
They're pretty awesome games these days compared to what we used to have,
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, if I was talented in that way, I would so like be. No, I just want to talk straight to the people, straight to the dude or the chick or whoever it is, the dead person, the guide, the whatever, and get it with, because you know what they say about that telephone game.
Yeah.
For too many people, the message will get missed, And so anyway, so are you also aware of a psychic or a mediumship ability in yourself?
Yes. Oh yes. I see spirit. I can hear them. Well, it depends on which spirit it is. Sometimes they don't talk to me. You see somebody behind me?
No, I don't see that in your bio.
It should be.
I'm looking really hard.
Oh wow.
No, see,
I do.
You missed the part.
Well,
So that's okay. I did not know that about you. Did not know that.
I see dead people.
I see dead people, and I see a lot of dead people who have pulses.
I know. Yeah.
And so listen, what the heck is Rainbow Reiki?
A Rainbow Reiki. I discovered this lady, Deb Donahue, at the Universal Light Expo 10 or 15 years ago. And she would go to Bimini and swim with the wild dolphins. And she channeled the dolphins and it brought the Rainbow Reiki through her. So being the skeptic that I am, I'm like, get online, get on Google and say, Rainbow Reiki, what the heck is this? Well, at the same time she was bringing this information through from the dolphins, there were nuns in the Northeast bringing through the same information. So I'm like, okay. So it's a little more crystal rainbow energy that comes through when you do the energy.
And that's really interesting. I'll have to look more into that. Are you a believer that I'm a believer that, I had the ability, but I think everyone has the ability to harness universal energy and utilize that for healing. What I found with my Reiki training was that it helped me think outside the box and think about so many other different ways that you could use that Reiki or the healing. And like, as an example, I never thought about going back in.
Excuse me.
Bless you. I never thought about going back in time or forward in time or healing, sending Reiki to the Mother Earth or any of these other things that you can do, Reiki your food, you know what I mean? I've never ever really wouldn't have thought about those ways of using it, but for my formal training,
Right. I Reiki my car on a regular basis because she's getting a little old, and I want to keep her running without putting a ton of money in her, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that. So, I kind of believe that there are some things that we innately have the ability to do, and I agree that we can learn how to do that better with training. You know.
Yes.
But you know, it doesn't mean that somebody has to go and spend $1 bazillion somewhere, you know,
No.
and you know, to be able to do it. Yvette, get in line. You know what I mean? Call in or get your mic all hooked up. Or everybody, do that now, you guys. Don't wait until the end, okay? I'd like to know now because I'll talk forever if I don't see a bunch of people in queue for a reading. You know what I mean? And so, guys, get in there, and because I don't want to see a whole bunch of you, like 10 minutes left in the show, all of a sudden you want to jump on. You know what I'm saying? That will make me cranky. Anyway, okay. So how did you meet Lisa?
Let's see. I think it was about 3 years ago. Another friend of mine named Lisa said, you need to meet Lisa Nolan. She wasn't married yet. And I'm like, okay. And I was at the Universal Light Expo, and she walked by the booth I was working in, and Lisa Nolan just stopped and went, I'm supposed to meet you. We're supposed to do something together. I went, okay. And then I didn't see her for like a year. And then since then, it's just, you know, we started hanging out, and I go to her channelings because she does a channeling once a month. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
And when Spirit tells me to go, I go. And
so
right now she's pushing me on this path faster than I was expecting.
So you're what we call a brick and mortar friend instead of a online friend or whatever, yeah? Not to say that online friendships are invaluable, guys, but anyway, that's cool. So anyway, so let's go back. So now I want to know then, when did you first realize about your ability to see dead people and all of that? How did that manifest for you?
Well, the house that I live in, growing up as a kid, there was always a ghost in the house, a female ghost. I always seen her walking around. And I talked to my mom and dad about it, and of course, there's no such thing as a ghost. But I remember I was 11 or 12, and I felt someone tucking me into bed at night. And I turned on my light, and I could see the covers going underneath me, but no one was standing there. Yeah, I freaked out. Screamed my head off. Mom and Dad thought someone broke in the house and was terrorizing me or something. And so, you know, that scared me, but I learned the energy. She was an earthbound spirit, had never crossed. After I learned the difference, I learned how to cross her by reading several different books. She was my experimental ghost of crossing, and it worked. So basically, I just told her to go into the light. There's people over there who love you or waiting for you. There's nothing left here for you. And she went on.
And so did she ever come back? Like, because I would add, you know, I've suggested adding on as well, that, you know, you can come back once you cross over, you know, you can come and visit, or you can
come and visit.
You know, like, you're not, like, it's not that you'll never be out, because sometimes what keeps them earthbound is, you know, maybe they're attached to something or someone.
Well, my great aunt, the house I used to live in was my great aunt's house. She passed away, and I moved in, and she crossed, but she came back, and she stays in that house because she loved the house. And so when my father passed in 2008, I sold that house and moved back here. And I told her, I'm like, because that house was full of spirits. And I told him, I'm like, you can come and live with me if you want to. Cross, go back, because they'd all crossed and came back. I'm like, but you're scaring the people who are living there now. So you have to stop scaring them, or no one's going to live in that house. Because the house sat empty for 6 months. They had renters in there for a month, and they left twice. And it was like, then it sat empty for 6 months. And so I'm like talking to them, going, guys, you got to quit doing this. If you want someone to live in this house, you got to quit scaring them.
Yeah.
I mean, people, because my cousin and her boyfriend lived there for a while, and he would not walk down the hallway to go to the bathroom unless she went down and turned on all the lights.
Wow, hey?
They would, you would hear 40s music playing in the hallway, and they would be dancing in the hallway. And I'm like, guys, do you mind? And they're like, can you quiet it down? And their response was, we were here first. I'm like, okay, what do you say to that, you know?
Yeah. And so, and now how about, like, so cause we always say, like, you can be psychic and not be a medium, but to be a medium, you pretty much have to be a psychic. And
right.
so, so do you also, you know, get information, psychic information that's useful either to you or others?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a time. Tell me a time that that being psychic has helped you personally in a situation.
Well, I was going down 71, Interstate 71 North, out of Cincinnati, coming back home, visiting some friends, and Spirit told me, you need to go off the interstate now. And I'm like, okay, and before I can even ask why, they're like, now. So I just like get off of this exit, and I'm out in the middle of absolute nowhere. There was a huge accident, and if I had kept going, I probably would have been in the accident. So I'm driving. I get off. I'm in the middle of cornfields and country, and I have no clue where to go. So I just very quietly take a deep breath and say, okay, guys, you got me off the interstate. Now get me home. So I would go to a stop sign and go, okay, left, right, straight, and till they got me to a road I knew, and then I go like, thank you, guys. And I trusted them completely, and I made it home.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now, is it a thought that you got in your mind, or you actually heard it outside of yourself, or you heard it
in my mind, in my head, that knowing.
Flew, you got this, get off of this road now.
Yeah. And a different, a very demanding, more of a masculine voice than my voice I hear in my head.
Right. Right. And see, that's my problem. I can't tell a difference between them.
Well, most of the time, my guides, when they talk to me, usually their verbiage is a little bit different than mine. They use different words than I do, so I know it's them, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Yeah. And I have friends who think I listen to them blindly and just do what they tell me. I'm like, no, I'm not a puppet. I will argue with them. I will fight with them and end up doing it anyway. But, you know, I'm human. I'm not just going to listen to them blindly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and you know, now that's an interesting thing because, you know, like, I'm glad you said it's inside, because if you were hearing it outside, I'd be like, oh, okay, so you got the old schizophrenia going on, eh? But no. And that's really a big difference, is that the schizophrenic people who are hearing voices from outside telling them to do things, if people have that happening, don't do it. And, you know, it's really important that you, you know, not, and really I would say don't do something that, you know, they would never tell you to do something that would hurt yourself or hurt someone else. I mean, you know, cause physical harm. Of course, sometimes we have to make decisions in our life that hurt us or hurt others by way of severing ties or moving away or doing things like that. But that's not the kind of hurt that I mean. You know, it's nobody's going to be telling you to hurt yourself or someone else. So you're not being psychic if you're getting those kinds of instructions.
No, you're not.
And so when you see the so you said that you see dead people. And is it in your mind's eye, or you see them like in the room, like you see them?
Both. Both.
Okay.
It depends on which. It depends. My guides have told me that it depends on how old they are, how long they've been in the spirit world. Because some people don't know yet how to make themselves physical on our plane, so you get the impression in your mind. And then others are like celebrities, and they want the spotlight, so they're going to we're going to show up. we don't care. We don't know how we're doing it or not. We're going to just show up and say, hey, look at us. And it's like, oh, those are kind of like, okay, in your face, give me a headache, go away.
Are they kind to you, or do they just like you open the shower curtain and there's a dead person standing there? Like,
no, I've set boundaries with them. No, you're not allowed in the bathroom with me.
I know, right?
That's my private space. No.
Well, people are always you get a little weird when someone dies and they're all like, now they're like, they go like, are they watching me when I'm having sex or going to the bathroom? Like, no, they're not.
They're not. But when I started seeing spirit with the physical eye, this was probably about 10 years ago. And I was driving through my little town that I live near called Canal Winchester, Ohio, and all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 feet above the sidewalk was like another town. It looked like the 1800s with the little Victorian era. And I'm looking around going, oh my God, what am I seeing? And all of a sudden they're like, she can see us. And they all start waving, and I'm like waving. And then I heard someone scream, hit your brakes. And I locked them because I almost rear-ended somebody.
Wow.
And so I told Spirit, I'm like, no, when I'm driving, you cannot show me Spirit with my physical eye, because I was having problems for a few years distinguishing between this world and their world. Yeah. So I had to set solid boundaries and not give in.
Yeah, that would be really bad. I mean, do you also have like I'm open for business and I'm closed for business kind of?
I've been trying that. It ain't been working too well. Well, I think part of that's because I do a lot of work in my dream state, and I think that's why I'm having problems setting those hours. But I do when I drive. I'm like, you guys can't talk. I'm like, I don't want to see you. But sometimes when I get really tired, I ask them to bring in a spirit driver and allow them to step into my body and help me drive. So if I get real tired.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I get places and don't even remember how I got there. So it's like, okay, we haven't wrecked. I'm healthy, and I still got money. We're good.
Then you get into an accident, you're all like, it wasn't me, Your Honor. I let some spirit come in and drive for me. It's like, I'd like to see that one, you know?
That would make the news, wouldn't it?
That would be on Nancy Grace, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. You kind of downplay that then about yourself. You probably consider yourself like your first thing that you would lead with then is what, a healer?
Yeah.
Like a Reiki? Yeah. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting.
Well, I went to school for massage therapy, and that got me into the Reiki and stuff, and that got me working with my hands more and more, got me hearing spirit clearer and clearer.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I see. That happens a lot to people who undergo Reiki training. That there's things that start happening, and I say that because I'm so jealous of people that are just able to click into the other side, and I want to be able to do that so bad, you know, and so far, like, no, like, I think that there's little bits that I get from time to time, but like, I can't do it on demand, and it just doesn't happen for me. And then as to being psychic, maybe at claircognizant, but maybe ever since I was born, and so I don't have a way of telling the difference, you know. You know, I try to say to them, can you like say it to me like in a way that I'll recognize that it's not me, you know? So I always say this: everything that I say that's smart is the spirit world, is guidance, and everything else is me. So all the smart stuff I say is guided, and all the stupid stuff is mine, you know. And but I never get, like, you know how some people, they'll get tingly or they'll feel warm, and then they know that they're receiving. You know what I mean?
Like I'm sitting here sweating right now. Yeah.
I don't get, and I just feel so ripped off, you know, like I feel so ripped off. But
Mine also, it also runs in my family, even though my mother and grandmother didn't really acknowledge it, just call it this. They would, eyes in the back of the head, so to speak. And my mom, who always said there was no ghost here, she died in 99, and like a week before she passed away, she goes, I need to tell you that I saw the ghost too. I was so mad at her. I would have killed her if she wasn't dying.
I know, right? Like, you get better so I can, that's, it's funny because I had a story, some of my people have heard this, and some of them have maybe heard it way too many times, but sucks to be you guys. But this one was the truest validation in a way for me. And when I was a kid, we had a great neighborhood, so every house, just about in this circular thing, we had a field in the middle of it all. In the back of everyone's backyards, there was a field in the middle, and so almost every house had kids, and so we would all, like, the whole block was hide and seek, so you could be anywhere. And so I'm running across alongside my house, and I trip and I fall like this close to the basement window, like my face is right there. There's this old man, like right up to the window from the inside. Long white hair, long white beard. Looks like that Gandalf guy on
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And I'm only like 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm really young. And this scared the shit right out of me, And because I always felt funny in the basement at my house. Like, I would if I got sent down to go get bread or meat or something from the freezer, I would thunder down and thunder back up, as fast as I could. And so, anyways, many years later, I'm like after 18 or something, I was at my mom's house and sort of having coffee or whatever. And she was telling about some of her ghost stories from when she was a kid or whatever, like the piano would play by itself, or lights and this and that. They would all leave the house to go by the bus stop, and their lights would be on in the house, and their dad would yell at them, and who'd left the light on? Go back there and turn the light off. And they'd run back to turn the light off and come back, and the light's on, and it's like, so then when she did that, I said, well, one time when I was a kid, this happened, and she, as I was telling the story, like her face was like getting this, look, eh? And sure, her hair was standing up, and she said that same face you just said that you saw, it was on the outside. Like, there was a time when my dad was in the hospital, and he was on the outside when I would go down to the back porch steps to lock the back door at night. He would be outside looking in.
Oh.
And now, then there was one night when my dad was in the hospital, and she woke up in the middle of the night to all this banging. Is that a cat? Aw.
Yes, this is my black. This is Lucky.
Aw, I had a dog called Lucky. Love it when the animals come around. What was I saying?
She had big eyes.
Oh, no, so then there was one night where he was still in the hospital. She wakes up to all this banging, and she goes to the kitchen, and every cupboard door is open, and all the drawers are open.
My goodness.
Now, my mom wasn't very nice to me, eh? And so I'm, like, I always knew that, I didn't know who that old man was. I had the idea as I was very young, for the longest time, that was like my guardian angel or something like that. You know what I mean? And he was there to look after me. And so I was trying to understand, why would he show himself to me inside, right? But show himself to my mom outside. And as if maybe to say to her, I'm watching you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be careful. And so this one night, like he freaked her out bad. I'm sure it was him. And so she was probably not nice to me that day. And, and so, now all through time, various people have opined different, ideas about who that was. I still am back around to the idea that that's like a guardian angel or a spirit guide or something like that. That guy was there, for me, to protect me. And I think that if I wouldn't have reacted with fear, because I don't think that the good ones want to scare us. You know what I mean? And so, and it was just a startled reaction. Like, I wish that I could have that time back, because if that was what chased him away, you know what I mean, from showing himself to me ever again, then I feel really sad for that, because it could have been very helpful for me to have been able to see this guy throughout the time. But what do you got some thoughts on that?
Well, a lot of times when we're younger, we're connected and we can see spirit, but because we're closer to the other side than the physical world. And as you get older, the veil starts to drop because you're more in the physical world than the spiritual world, so we quit seeing. Because my son, he used to see up until he was about 12. He would see spirit. And then he was about 14, and he asked me, Mom, am I all alone now? I'm like, oh, no, honey. I'm like, well, at first I was like, alone how? And he goes, I don't see them anymore. And I'm like, honey, ask, and if it's time, you'll see them again. I'm like, you're just more in the physical than you were in the spirit world. And he's like, oh, okay. And he just started law school, so, I don't know where. He's not way I thought he was going to go, but.
It's funny because, all these, I know that my psychic ability helped me a lot when I was a union rep and that, but, I would never, I just would know things, you know what I mean? I would just know things. Mm-hmm. And I would instinctively, call out lies and know who was telling me the truth, and I knew what the opposition was going to do next, you know what I mean? I could already have and so, but how cool would it be, to be a lawyer and to be seeing that? Can you imagine, prosecuting a murder trial or defending a murder trial, and let's say that your guy's innocent for this murder, and now you got, the victim showing up for you and saying, that's not the guy that killed me.
Well, I was a juror on a murder trial about 14 years ago, and the young kid who was accused of it did not do it. I saw Spirit told me he didn't do it. His friend did it, but by the letter of the law, his intent was to go over to kill the guy, and so they got him manslaughter or second-degree murder, I forget which it was. But I'm like, he didn't do it. They're going, yes, but the law, the intent. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, I would have been a whole. But I mean, you could have hung the jury, couldn't you? I
did for 2 days.
Yeah.
But then it got down to the intent and the letter of the law. It's like, yes, his intent was to go.
Oh, they did prove to you that he intended to go and kill the person.
They put him. They were dumb and put him on the witness stand. He admitted he had planned on going over there to kill him. And I'm like, why did you put him there? He's a 16-year-old kid,
Jesus, Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I know a lot of psychics, and anybody who wants to avoid their civic duty, I'd love to be on that jury. And I know I'll never get to do that either. You know what I mean? But, I'd love to be on a jury and of an important case. Not like some stupid bullshit one-day thing or something, but is a lot of them will just say, hey, I'm a psychic, blah, blah, and they get right away, they get disqualified or something, from it. And so I think there's people out there that aren't really all that psychic that say, but they want to avoid being on the jury, so they like to just say that they are. But anyway, listen, time's flying on us, so why don't I toss a song on and let you get ready to do some readings. And what kind of readings are you going to be doing today?
Well, I leave it up to Spirit. Sometimes I draw a card or two, and sometimes they just bring it straight through, and I don't need the cards.
Okay. So, but you'll want people to have a question for you, eh?
Let them have a question, and I'll go from there.
So let's don't have anyone say, just give me a general, please.
Yeah. Have a question ready.
Okay, guys. You have some work to do, kids. So here we go. We're going to do Earth Dance by Chris Faree, and we'll come back at the end of that. It's about 5 minutes.
Bathroom break.
much that I've used it in some as a background to some of my narrated stuff that I've done. Welcome back to the show. I'm going to do a quick shout out. Christy's there. I see you there. You'll be first because you had your hand up very first there, Christy. Hi, Amy. There's an anonymous and then another anonymous and then Christy Who and Stan and Deb and Dolores. Hi, Dolores. And Dragon, I got you down on the queue. And Gemini Moon, how you doing? Gemini, do you know if Linda's doing a show tomorrow? She didn't do. I missed a couple of her shows, and then I went to go last Wednesday, and she didn't do one. I don't know how she's doing. Heath is there. Lisa Ingalls, nice. So welcome to the show. Nice to see you. This is the other Lisa. I'm assuming the other Lisa friend, and Margie is here. Marie, hi Marie, and Mary Margaret. Mary Margaret, are you just listening or what? Please tell me. Michelle, hello Michelle, and Pamela is our guest. Popeye is here. Corrine, Supernatural Lady. Tammy must be another friend of Pamela's. Welcome to the show. Thank you for signing up for an IntuiTalks account. I really do appreciate that. We're here every night at 10 p.m. Eastern with different guests, and if you're psychic, you too can be a guest. And so anyway, OICU 812. I don't know what he's trying to say. Okay, let me go get Pamela back. All right, there you are.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so everybody in queue, you must have a question. I will hang up on your ass if you say, just give me what you get or give me a general. And we hope that manners will be that we will say please. But anyway, I'm kidding you guys. Okay, let's go get Christy. Hi, Christy.
Hi, guys. How are you tonight?
Good. How you doing, Christy?
What?
How are you?
Oh, good.
So what's your question, Christy?
I have been searching for other rental units for a bit now, and I was just wondering if you could tell me if it would be better for me to focus on trying to find another rental, or perhaps I should take a different path and maybe look for a land contract or rent to own to try to help me in my search.
They're showing me, like, northwest of you, there's a place that would be perfect for what you want. I don't know where you're at, so I don't know what northwest would mean. I'm sorry?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Because they're just showing me you. I'm seeing a map, and they're like, if you're the center of the circle, like I said, northwest of you, about 5 to 6 miles from where you're at. Does that make any sense to you?
Actually, northwest of me is a small town called Sanford, and the rent is a lot cheaper
there you go.
than it is in Midland right now.
Okay, there you go. They're saying that. Yeah, they're saying that's a good location for you. It'll help you out in the long run with all your other endeavors, only because you'll have a little more extra money to do what you want to do and have a little more fun than you've been having, because you've been too serious. You need to lighten up and have a little more fun in your life, or Spirit's going to come in and kick your ass. You better watch out.
Do you know whether or not it's a rental?
Yeah. Well, it could be. They're advertising it. They're showing me they're advertising as a rental, but if you approach them on a land contract deal, they are open to that. They're just not advertising it at this time.
Well, that's great to know. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Hey, Christy.
I got it. That's great news.
Right. Yes, it is. Get packing. Okay, we'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
Okay, she's not too talkative tonight. I don't know what's going on. She can't hear very well or something. Okay, put your hand down now, too, okay?
North to Alaska.
North to Alaska. See, that's your fault. Go north.
Now that song's really stuck in my head.
Yeah, I know. Stan. He hates it when I sing. Got him back for it. North to Alaska. Going north. It goes too low for me, though. Hey, we're gonna go to Dragon.
Dragon.
Hey, Dragon.
Hey, how's it going?
David. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have a question for Pamela?
Well, I didn't, but then you said we had to have one, so now I'm trying to come up with a good one.
Oh, well, you want me to come back to you later?
Yeah, come back to me later.
Okay. All right. Okay, now I'm going to go to Anonymous. I can't have any way of knowing, so hello,
Hi.
who's this?
Yvette.
Hi, Yvette. Kate, how's Yvette?
Huh? I'm good.
Okay. What's
Can I
up?
ask my question?
Yeah.
I have I interviewed with an old boss at the beginning of this month, and I told her that I wouldn't be able to start to the end of the month. And I just wanted to know if I still have the job. I know that she's kind of she putts around a little bit. But I reached out to her. She said, "You're still on my mind." She was doing some schedule stuff. So I just want to know. I know technically I wouldn't be able to start to next at the end of the month anyway, or to the beginning of next month. So it's probably why she's probably not merging anyway. I'm just curious.
Right, because so you wouldn't be able to start till October 3rd, the first Monday of the month.
Or the weekend, actually. It would be a weekend gig or maybe some fillers in the middle of the week.
Okay. Good God, I got to look at the calendar. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me stop for a second here and explain some of the things that I do when I do readings. Spirits sometimes make me look at things until I get the message. They bring it through that way. Or I do writings or hand gestures. So right now they're making me look at the calendar because that's how they're giving me the message. Don't ask me. They're saying that you need to touch base with her again because she seems to be very forgetful.
Okay.
And the job's yours. It's just she's kind of like you're on the back burner because she knows that you're a reliable person.
Okay.
And she's waiting for you to touch back base with her because she's like, in her mind, you've got it, you know it.
Okay.
And she's just waiting for you to contact her back.
Excellent. Can I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have this friend.
Chris.
Huh, Chris?
Chris, is that okay?
Quickly, yes.
Yeah, I have this friend. She crossed some boundaries, and she basically reversed a situation, probing, like she's probing me about my work situation. I kind of told her, like, this topic I'm not comfortable talking about, but then she keeps probing it in a kind of, she's trying to be innocuous about it, but it's not, it's actually kind of crossing boundaries, and it's like people that do it, like, subtly, but not really, and like kind of jokingly. It's like, I have this problem, but why are you pushing my buttons? But so she turned it around on her because I said, why you keep asking me? And then she got offended. So I just was wondering what the scenario with this friend was. I mean, and she got mad at me, so we haven't spoken. And she gave me a kind of whip ass from because Mercury's in retrograde. I'm not taking it. I'm kind of laughing at it.
Right. But this is your lesson from Spirit on setting your boundaries and sticking to them and not feeling bad because it hurt her feelings. You're not here to
I don't feel bad, and I didn't say sorry.
Right.
I don't feel bad.
Good
Okay.
that you don't. But this is just reiterating you need to set your boundaries and stick with them.
Right.
As that's all what that's about. And and if it's causing lots of drama, that's also a lesson for you to learn. I set my boundaries. She's going to keep pushing them. I don't need her.
Right. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's all it is. Just reminding you of those lessons.
Fantastic.
That's all.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Yvette.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, you're wonderful. And I get to mute her before she says, "No, you're wonderful." Oh, the power! The power. So I'm getting psychic. Pamela's favorite color is blue. Okay. I'm gonna come to another anonymous. I don't know who it is. Hello.
Hi there,
Who's
Chris
that?
and Pamela.
Okay, it's Queen.
Queen.
Hi, Queen. Question?
Hi. Yes. I am finding out what someone named Pamela, who just passed, what the status of her estate regarding me is about. It seems as though I could inherit her property and her home, and I'd just like to know whatever you're getting around that. Although there's complications.
Yeah, there's a lot of complications. There's a lot of people kind of dipping their finger to that pot, so to speak, trying to block things. Were her wishes. It's gonna. Oh man, it's a mess. There's about. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question now. So, are you related to her?
Yes, I would be next in line without a will.
Without a will. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's other people who are going to contest it though for you to get it. It's gonna get ugly before it gets settled. You will end up with it, but the question for you is, do you really want it? With all the hassle and headache that's going to come with it.
Well, I don't anticipate having to do much, but wait until the individual who thinks it belongs to her, she pays all the legal fees, whatever, to try to get it. Because I am and because of the way it appears to be, that they would have to come back to me anyway before anything could be resolved. So, ultimately.
But that was the key word, appears to be. That doesn't mean that's how it is. That's how it appears to be. I'm seeing a huge stack of legal papers and jargon that I don't understand. So, but there's going to be a lot of loopholes. Hoops that you're going to have to jump through to get it. And it's just, basically you're rereading this and signing this and agreeing to this and agreeing to that and it's signature upon signature upon signature, but it's going to take time. It's going to take, I'm seeing like 6 months
aware.
A year. Okay.
That's, I was
but you're going to get it.
It's a 6 month waiting process anyway before whoever would get it. That's definitely, yes, you're right with the 6 months. And a year, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just on a waiting game. And I'm glad you said that. And I thought it was symbolic that her name was Pamela and your name is Pamela, because that's not a common name. So, I knew I would get through. I thank you. Your timing is like 6 months, a year, however long. I can wait. I have all the time in my world. So I thank you.
And that's good. That's good that you have that wonderful attitude. I love that attitude.
Well, I thank you. I'm glad I have it too. It took me many years to get to this point where, because it's just a matter of, like I said, let her put the effort out there and pay for the lawyers and do all of that. And I'll just wait because she come back to me before anything can be resolved. So I thank you very much. Nice to meet your energy. Thank you, Chris. You keep sending me orange juice. I'm going to be filled with orange juice.
I'm not sending nothing. It posts to my page, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, from the game you play, keep sending me, Chris is sending you orange juice. But anyway, thanks. Talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Queen. I'm not really sending it to anyone. It gets posted to my page, and then anyone who's a friend or whatever, I don't know. I do not know why that happens. You must play it, or if you don't play, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I don't post coins too, because there's a billion. I hate going to someone's Facebook page and all it is game shit. You scroll and scroll and scroll, and it's just these such and such has free spins.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Screw the game.
David, are you ready? Or no? I asked in the chat and I didn't see an answer.
No.
Okay. Mary Margaret, I don't know what you're doing. I didn't see your answer, so I'm gonna unmute you. Are you there? Oh, how are you?
I can't.
You're breaking up. I know. She's breaking up. If you want a reading, can I add you on my Skype call? Something's really bad lately with your connection.
I'll try to go to Skype.
Okay, go to Skype. I'll mute you, and as soon as I see you log into Skype, I'll jump you on my call. Okay? And then we have Corrine, and then you better. So you have a time limit now, David. It can't be that hard to come up with a question. Want to know about your relationship or your freaking whatever, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be that hard. Corrine. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, here's another one that's choppy. Okay, so you're freaking. Yeah. Let me pull you in on my Skype call. So cancel your sound there, and I'll plug in on my Skype call. Usually with people with wireless, this is what happens to them when they use the browser.
Feedback, like.
Well,
okay.
It's just as choppy because it's an unstable connection to the internet.
Gotcha.
And the browser seems to really need a really stable. So add her to my group call. Hello. Oh.
Who we got?
Come on, Corrine, answer your Skype. Answer your Skype.
Hello?
Okay, there you are. Okay, that's.
Okay, sorry. Okay, hi guys. Okay, thank you. So Pamela, I don't honestly, I want to ask a stupid question, and I'm trying to avoid asking a stupid question. So, can you tell me if I ever might be in love again?
If
I
you
know
ever
that's equally stupid.
Okay. Well, what kind of love are you talking about? A relationship love? The one? Romantic relationship love?
Yeah.
In a relationship that's going to last for years and years, for the rest of your life type deal?
I hope so.
Wait a minute. Wait a second here. I'm actually going to... Oh, yes, you are. I actually used my cards this time, and I pulled my hat.
All you have to do is move to Uganda. I'm just kidding.
No. Yep, you're going to have it. It's going to be 2 or 3 years out, but you're going to find it. Don't settle.
2 or 3 years. I'll be dead by that time.
Yeah, you won't.
There's a problem. If you get, you know what I mean? Like, don't go, oh, yay, that means I can have a bunch of sizzling hot, short affairs for the next 2 or 3 years, and then I can settle down.
Yeah, you want to get all those tricks perfected on how to please them before you get to them.
Oh my! Yeah.
Pamela, do you see that? But obviously, I will Well, all right. So the true one won't come for 2 or 3 years, but
Right.
will there be others?
There'll be others between him and them. Between now and then, I got that backwards. Yeah, between now and then, there'll be a couple others. Yeah. But you know exactly what you want. Don't settle. And don't change yourself for anybody, which I'm sure you already know that, but stick to your guns, girl. I see about 2 or 3 between now and then.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, now great.
Well, this should be interesting.
You got to be grateful.
The kind that you have fun with for 2 or 3 months, and then you're like, I'm done with you. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm saying too much about myself now.
Yeah. See, I never had fun with anybody for a couple months. I've been in long, long relationships my whole life, you know.
I'm 52. I've done it both ways, and it's like, sometimes 3 months is just to have fun. Who cares if it, it's just all about sex. What can I say?
Never stop to think that maybe that's what's missing too, is just you having, we talk so often to people about, when you're just dating or something, if your end goal, if you're, and I don't mean if you're desperate, but I mean if what's on your mind is it's just going to be forever, then that can be a problem. Just enjoy every day as it comes, and what will be will be. And then I'm just thinking that you kind of said it yourself. It's I've only ever had really long relationships, and so now it's up to you. You could choose to do nothing for 2 years and see no one and wait for this guy. But I also feel that sometimes we gotta do that in between stuff, because that's what positions us to be where we need to be. We might not otherwise be there, or whatever, when we meet the one that's really meant to be. So
that's so true, Chris.
Maybe what you need to do is enjoy, that what you've not ever had. And I don't mean be a slut and
right.
night with somebody. You know what I mean? Seriously,
right?
But and don't try to be so focused on lifetime forever within the first year of any relationship. You know what I mean? Just take it day at a time.
Right.
And then if it builds to that, that's great. But I think sometimes the energy that gets thrown in when one of the parties has this end goal that they're pushing toward, that can somehow throw the whole energy off and scare people off and this kind of thing. So just enjoy each and every day. You find a boyfriend, and don't worry if it's going to be, just don't fall so hard so fast is also the thing.
Right. I just, it's just kind of weird because I never wanted to just play around with somebody, you guys, and I know I'm a bit of a Pollyanna, unfortunately. So I feel but I know I have to learn to have fun and not be totally serious about it. But anyways, I appreciate your time, Pamela, and Chris. I appreciate your advice too.
And in the meanwhile, that thing might build to that forever thing. All I'm saying is, with at least in that first year, don't fall so hard so fast.
Don't go on one date and then make that a relationship.
Don't have expectations.
No, I've never done that, but
I guess it's expectations. Don't have expectations that first year. I feel that your thing is you would fall too fast, too hard, and so
yeah.
Been there, done that.
You don't have to have sex with any of them either, but you can still date them and go have fun and do things. No, nobody's gonna,
Right.
So, like, nobody's saying go out.
Yeah, you're right. I know. It's up to me. Yeah.
Okay, Corrine.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Good luck. Thank you. Mary Margaret, I'm going to grab you and bring you in. So kill your sound in the show, Mary Margaret. And here comes Mary Margaret. Hello.
Hello, thank you.
See, that's better. That's way better.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So now you have a question?
Oh, okay. I want to know, I've got 3 different things going, and I want to know, it's about business. Is that direct enough? Which
So
one I should do?
Okay, so you have 3 things that you're trying to decide which one to do. God, you feel like
Yes.
your energy's like that of a hummingbird. It just flies from one place to the other. You keep flittering around and not settling down. Is what it feels
my
like.
God. Mm-hmm.
And I love your voice. You sound like a fairy.
Oh, thanks.
It's that your voice is how when fairies talk to me, how I hear them in my head. So your voice is just like magical to me.
Well, my website's name's got fairy in it.
Really? Okay, so you have 3. Why can't you do all 3 things?
I'm old. Well, I want to know which one was gonna I'll do the best at. Let me put it that way.
Okay, in your mind right now, do you have them labeled like 1, 2, and 3?
Okay, I will label them 1, 2, and 3.
Because they're not telling me exactly what it is. They're just giving me a number. So.
Okay. Number 1 would be the one I like the best.
What about number 3?
Number 3 would be the one I'm not sure of.
Because I kept hearing number 3, that's why I asked you to number them.
Oh.
Because they weren't telling me what the jobs are, so they were just going for number 3, and that's why I asked you. Did you have a number for each one in your head? Yeah, so they're saying number 3 is going to be the
with that?
the best financial outcome would be with number 3.
Oh. Okay. Well,
why are you not sure about it?
Because that's the one that the skincare.
Oh. That does sound like it's the most lucrative though, right?
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if the market is not saturated.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Pamela, so very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Mary Margaret. Man, we're like following these through quick. David, it's now or never.
Oh, here, I can't even see through my glasses now. What's going on?
So
I put them down like a granny glasses.
Like a granny. David.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing good still.
Okay.
Nothing crazy happened in the meantime.
All right. Thank you, David.
So, yeah, I guess I do. I wanted to know about the path I'm on right now that I've been walking for the past several years. Seems to be that things are getting a little more difficult, and I wanted to know if that's a sign that it's time to change paths, or does that mean it's just time to press on harder and kind of knuckle under?
Okay, just a second. I'm hearing that the path that you're on is the right path. They are throwing some obstacles in your way because they want you to follow your truth and not anybody else's. They don't want you. They also want you to venture out and incorporate pick up a few new things along your travels. I'm seeing, I don't know where you are, so I'm seeing like Southwest United States, like the Hopi Indians, like the Kachinas. You know what a Kachina is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing Kachina energy that you need to incorporate that a little bit more in your path. And they're just wanting you to incorporate a few new things to give it a little extra breath of life into it. But you are on the right path. They're just making it a little difficult right now to make sure that you are, how do I put it? This is what you really want to do, and you're not just goofing off. Because some people start doing the spiritual path, and they get so far because they think it's easy, and we can do all this, and everything's fun and light and airy, and then when it really starts getting difficult, people quit. So that's just one of the steps that people go through on their paths, on their journey to find their truth.
Right. Well, I'm not really given the option to quit. I just have to choose the next step forward is all.
Take the next step. Bring in the Kachinas. They're going to help you. Do your meditation. Go to the Kachina world. They want to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Make sure you will talk to the Eagle Kachina will give you strength, so make sure you get in touch with him, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Okay, we're getting through these quick. Let me see. Deb in Calgary. Hi, Deb.
Hello. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I thought I'd call in for someone who doesn't know me at all.
Uh-oh, what am I in for? No?
No, you're okay. Just the very immediate financial situation. I believe something's coming for me very soon. But in the meantime, I have to look after things right now, and I don't know where the money's coming from for my basic living expenses. And I do a number of different things, so maybe we can get an idea of which pile to look in for where the money is. Immediate.
So you need, like, money tomorrow?
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm seeing a check in the mail, though, in like 2 weeks. You'll be getting some money in about 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen a check in the mail. But to anything more immediate, what do you do? Or what do you, that you make money at? Because you said you did several things. What?
Yeah, several things. Well, I'm not making much money at anything right now.
But you do readings? You do Reiki? You do energy work?
I do Reiki, but I've not really set myself up anywhere to do it.
You can make a little bit of money there, not enough to pay all the bills, but enough to help a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
They're wanting to bring through. Here's something that Spirit's brought through to me, and they keep wanting me to share it with people. And they're really intent right now, telling me to share it with you.
Okay.
You know, and I'm sure most of the listeners that are listening know about all the seven main chakras that everyone talks about.
Right.
A lot of people get too obsessed with one specific chakra and then throw the rest of them out of balance. For example, if your root chakra's wide open and it's red, and people who aren't really educated don't know, I shouldn't say educated, that's the wrong word, aware, they just want to keep adding red to it when you need to add white to it to close it down a little bit. That's just an example. Spirit's telling me to remind people to go back to the basics. Just ask them to bring in the rainbow, and they will balance the chakras for that day as you need it, and bring in the callers you need it for that day. And this is for anybody who's listening.
Okay.
Okay. Man. Okay. Because here's what I see when they told me this. Because you know your aura, and you got elected to hear for me to tell this with your whatever's going on here.
That's fine. That's fine.
You know your aura goes down a couple feet into Mother Earth, and it goes up. And what they showed me was they take the cork off the top of your aura bubble, pour in the rainbow, cork you back up, shake you like a snow globe, and it gets all like murky colored. And then you see these beautiful swirls of collars until they all settle around you in your aura for that day to help you. Sometimes, and it's different colors depending on the day and the person. I mean, some people are pastel people, some people are bold, some people are jewel tones, and yeah, that's yeah, and it's wonderful. I mean, I get a lot of jewel tones. They brought this information through to me in April, and I've been sharing this with anybody who'll listen to me. But piece of advice: don't do it before you go to bed, because they brought in jewel tones for me, and I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to go to sleep. So now, if I can't go to sleep, I ask them to bring in the Sleepy Time Rainbow, and those colors are softer than pastels. There's not really a word for it in our realm. So that it's really light. But they're saying that the Reiki, you bring a lot more energy through than just Reiki.
Yeah.
For us to do a lot of energy work that we do, you do a lot of stuff that I do, they're telling me, because you do what Spirit tells you to do. You don't just do Reiki.
Right.
Because you are very intuitive. You are actually, you need to follow your shaman gifts a little bit more, because you're pulling stuff out of people and getting rid of it.
Okay.
And I know that didn't really help you much with the money right this minute, but they wanted you need do the energy work that needs to get done. And there's some place. Wait a minute. Is there some place that you are or can do energy work at?
That is so interesting you said that.
Because they're showing me you can find some place, and it's 3 or 4 streets over. Does that make any sense?
Well, I actually have a part-time gig in a salon, and the actual day spa people moved out, and that space is empty right now. And the owner knows that I need money because I owe her money. And, I know when it was empty before, I considered asking her if I could just use one of the rooms,
She'll be open to it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. She'll be open to it.
Yeah.
Because if you're making money, then you'll be able to pay her. Oh, yeah, you'll. Yeah. And doing that's gonna weave into more business and more things and what you're doing. Because you. So when are you gonna start doing your readings like you're supposed to?
Start doing my what?
Readings, like what I'm doing right now.
That's funny. You're the second person in 1 week to tell me that. Hey, Chris, maybe I should come on your show and give it a try.
Oh, you can do it. I never thought that way about you, Deb.
I know. They don't think I keep my stuff hidden,
Well, don't talk to me, Kim. It ain't gonna get hidden no longer.
My cover is blown.
Okay, so Sunday on Curious Times, have some Calgary. Don't laugh. I'm putting it in.
Okay, Sunday, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do it.
Good.
Kind of reading.
Let me get back to you on that.
All right. Hey.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And whoever it was that said that the other day, I was like, what? And so anyway, it cracked me up. Okay. I don't see anybody else in queue. Let's take a quick song break, mostly for my bladder. And and then we'll come back and we'll see if anybody else has come in. And let me try and find what to play. Oh yes, gonna play. I love this song. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I love this song. I know it's kind of depressing, but I love this song. Wait.
Touched like Leon, the eyes of Lucy Jordan, the white suburban bed, in a white suburban town. As she lay there, neath the covers, dreaming of 1,000 lovers, till the world turned to orange, and the room went spinning round. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing, and she sat there softly singing little notes right she'd memorized. He's off to work, and the kids were off to school, and there were hotels anywhere for her to spend the day. She could clean the house for hours, or rearrange the flowers, or make the shades true, screaming out of way. Never got to Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing as she sat there softly singing. Pretty little ride she memorized in a daddy chat. At the age of 37, she knew she'd found forever as she rode along through Paris with the warm wind in her hair.
I know, but I like that song. I think I like her voice. Is really it. You know what I mean? And I like this song too, but it's so short. go. Okay, we got 2 more callers, which would be perfect, and then they'll take us through. So let me find. And Joanne has joined us. Welcome to the show. You must be another friend of Pamela's. Very nice, I'm guessing. And anybody, and Eric's here, and anybody else I didn't say hi to, sorry, and hi. And so here's Pamela. Do you mind being called Pam, or do you prefer Pamela?
Pamela.
Yeah, I thought so. You know, I thought that about you. That's interesting. Aha, see? Spidey senses. Okay, so we have Dolores and Eric, and so we're going to go ladies first. Hi, Dolores. Unmute yourself, Dolores. Dolores. Oh, she just muted herself. Okay, hang on. Hello? I mean, if your microphone is muted, your headset microphone. We are not hearing you. Do I have you on Skype? If I have you on Skype. I do. If you turn your Skype on, Dolores, can I just jump you onto my call? Because we can't hear you. I'm going to take that as a yes. Go sign on to Skype, Dolores, and I'll bring you in on my call. And in the meanwhile, we'll go to Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Chris and Pamela.
Hello.
Oh, good evening.
I think I'm going to take Corinne's suggestion and just ask if there's anything that Spirit wants me to hear at this time.
Well,
that's kind of general. You weren't here at the early part.
Yeah. Come up with a question.
She needs a question.
There's so much Spirit wants to say, so come up with a question to narrow it down since there's other people here. Now, if we were sitting down doing an hour reading, that would be a different story.
Okay, does Spirit have anything to say about me doing energy work?
Yeah, they want you to do some energy work. They're saying that you would do great doing polarity. It's going to be your forte. Have you ever taken any polarity classes, or do you do polarity now? Do you know what polarity is?
No, I don't.
You do Reiki?
Yes.
Okay. Polarity, they go around, they start at the head and kind of do still point, like cranial sacral almost, and then they just loop around they touch like the shoulder and the hand, and the shoulder and the hand and the waist, and down like that to balance all the energies around. They're showing me you're going to be doing that along with the Reiki together, because you really can't do one energy work without doing the other. It's all universal energy and healing. But the polarity, a lot of people will do polarity who think Reiki don't believe in Reiki, but they'll do polarity because they understand the balancing of energies, and when you talk about it in the electrical form of the energies going through your body as electrical energy, and to balance it, and people will accept that more than Reiki. Why, I don't know, but they do. I'm seeing you doing more of that, and I'm seeing you working with animals doing that.
Working on animals or with animals?
On animals. Doing Reiki and energy work on animals.
Do you have a sense of what kind of animals?
Cats and dogs and horses.
Oh.
That's what I'm seeing.
Well, so far I haven't had access to horses, but that will be interesting to look out for. Do go to a Reiki group on a weekly basis.
That's good.
I don't know if there's some other venue I should be going to.
No, you need to keep going there. It's good because it keeps you up. Because if you don't use your muscles to keep doing Reiki, you start losing the sensation and of how it needs to be done, the intuitive side of it that a lot of people don't talk about. You know, what was that? I was like, what? I got gonged out? Is this the gong show now?
The gong show.
Not sure where that came from.
Either Mary, Corrine, or Dolores must have the gong going. That's funny. Oh my God.
That was funny. Yeah. Oh. We just. I lost my train of thought on that one. No, but you need to. That's it. No, keep going to doing the Reiki because you need to keep the practice and keep that muscle strong on doing energy work. Also, do practice your Reiki on Mother Earth or on a plant in the house, especially in the wintertime. Get a plant and Reiki it just to keep you in practice and to bring some more unconditional love into your life that you need. Is that
okay?
All right.
Those are good ideas.
Okay.
Can I ask one last caveat about the energy work? Do you get anything about crystals that I either need to do or anything regarding crystals?
Oh, I thought you already were.
Well, I do have
crystals. I mean, look, I'm talking about doing grids on people when you do energy work on them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something like that. I have crystals at home, but I don't really take them to. I take one now and then to Reiki, but I don't really focus on crystals for that venue.
Okay. Like I said, the impression that I got of you was that you were already using crystals in a grid form, helping people. So maybe if you're not doing it in the physical, then you must be doing it in your dream state or something you want to bring into your physical world.
There's a crystal I'm using on called Kernite. There's someone I know who has liver cancer, and I've used a proxy model for this person and used Kernite with it. Do you get anything regarding that case?
That's good. That's good what you're doing. You're doing what needs to be done right now to help them out. It's helping them. It's not going to have the immediate reaction that you are expecting. Their kidney problem will last a little while, will last longer than anybody wants, but they're going to be okay in the long run. They're going to pull through it all.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling, mister. And, okay, Dolores, you're on.
Hello.
Hello, there she is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for taking my call. That was fun.
For calling.
My question is, I'm working on certification for a new business venture, and I'm wondering how successful it's going to be.
This new adventure. Repeat that question, please. Can you say that again, please?
Well, I'm working on my certification.
Certification. Okay.
I'm working on my certification.
Okay.
To do a new type of business.
New type of business, certification. And and I heard in my mind a new certification for a new adventure. Not a business, but an adventure. and it's going to bring great strength into your life. This certification is really going to make your life a little more solid and secure. With this certification.
Well, that's good to know because it's costing me a lot of money.
Oh, you'll make it back in a lot more within the year. You're going to make tenfold back, so you'll be fine. It's going to start out a little rough. Anything. But they keep saying it's a new adventure for you. It's a new adventure.
Okay.
They're giving you strength to follow through with this new adventure, and you're going to roar like a lion in it. You're just going to shine. You're just going to own it, and it's going to be very successful. So quit doubting yourself. It's all good.
Well, that's great.
Awesome.
That's great to know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So quickly, Dolores, tell us.
Okay.
That was a neat thing you wrote to me about. You're going to be on vibration. What's it called? Vibration radio. What's it called? Reverend Raven.
Raising vibration.
That's right. Raising vibration.
Raising vibrations.
Yeah, and you said you do this thing of reverse. Tell me what that is. Tell everybody.
It's called reverse speech, and it's called reverse speech.
Yeah.
And I interview a person and record them, and then I use this software, and when we play it in reverse, we find messages from I call it your soul, he calls it our subconscious, but it's
from your higher self.
Really good for therapeutic reasons. Yeah, from your higher self. For example, it would be great for kids with behavior problems. And, they just pump them full of drugs right now. But if you could listen to what their higher self or their soul or whatever is actually thinking, then you can help them better. And I'm going to be using it on an Alzheimer patient that can't speak. She just talks in gibberish. And babies actually start speaking in reverse before they start speaking forward.
Interesting.
So it's pretty amazing. He recorded a baby that needed its diaper changed, and it was hollering and gibbering. It wanted its diaper changed. And when he played it in reverse, the child said something like, "Give me a hand," or "Give me some help," or something like that.
Interesting.
So it'll just blow you away when you hear it.
So now, when you're on...
You can actually Google and listen to the teacher.
Right. Now, now this is something that or to just record something and then play it backwards?
Well, it takes hours and hours. You have to find patterns. You have to see what the person said in forward speech and match it with what they said in reverse. And does it make sense? You get metaphors or symbols.
Yeah.
But everybody's got very chatty souls. And it's better if you're depressed, right? Because it's used for therapy. And I was interviewing Reverend Raven, and Reverend Raven's so bloody cheerful. I kept saying, "Can't you tone it down a little bit?" Like,
I don't think that. I think that she puts great effort into being so chipper. You know what I mean? But listen, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't have this show scheduled just yet. It's when, Monday, or when is it?
It's on October the 3rd.
Oh, October the 3rd. So we're still, it's not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. So make sure you remind us all. And so what you're going to be doing, though, is you're already going to have pre-existing recordings that you've done and you'll be playing those back to demonstrate, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And
I'll send you an MP3, Chris, that you can listen to.
Sure. I get that, and I kind of know because there's, like, I do a lot of work with EVPs, as you know, or you may not know, but, and some people go to the extent of taking EVPs, like taking you know, an audio file and then also playing it in reverse to see if there's something there as well. And so, you do, so now, what kind of an interview do you do with the person? Like, is it a set of very specific questions, or are you just trying to get them to talk?
I'm trying to get them to talk about issues that are bothering them.
I see.
Like when you go to therapy and you don't know what you're depressed about, and it'll come out in your reverse speech. The teacher actually analyzes speeches, political speeches, and he analyzed all the speeches around the JFK assassination.
Oh, yeah.
And he's proven who killed JFK. Yeah. So it's pretty, and now he's doing Hillary and
I don't want to
Trump.
know.
He's doing the 911. Yeah.
I am very opinionated, and I get mad. So anyway. Okay, well, that's cool, and I'll definitely try my best to be there. If I can't make it, I'll definitely be listening in archives. I feel like you can just drag and drop an MP3 in whenever you get it or whatever. I'd be interested in hearing it.
Yeah, I'll send one to you. It's very, very short, and it's really, really cute. What it is, on Facebook, there was a video of two little children that didn't speak yet, but it was a little boy and girl, and they kept hugging and kissing each other, and then they'd break apart and kill themselves laughing, and then they'd hug and kiss each other again. And when I play it, and she says something in gibberish at the end, and when you play it in reverse, she says, "Love you."
Aww.
I'll send that one to you.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you very much for the reading.
Right
You're
on.
welcome.
And so you can either hang up on the Skype call or just mute yourself. And now I think that's
okay.
that. So did we traumatize you too bad, Pamela?
Not at all.
Awesome.
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, if you feel like ever doing this again, or even like once a month or whatever on some kind of a regular basis, like let me know. I'll be happy to have you. I have some empty spots, and if we can make it work, then I think that'd be great. And then in the future, I make my guests come with a topic, because I've done, I don't know, I've lost track of almost a nightly show for well over 5 years.
Oh my
That's
God.
A lot of
yeah.
So, like, you can imagine, I'm done trying to come up with topics. And so I like it when the guest just comes with something they want to talk about, and we yak about that for the first 40 minutes or so, and then we take some calls or whatever, you know? So, so it's been.
But you've heard it all.
No, because I haven't. Because everybody does have a different idea or thought or spin on, like here's a deep question. Is there a difference between, and we don't have to tackle it now, there's no time, but like, how did this go? Is there a difference for you, between inner peace and happiness? Like, is
Yes.
there two different meanings for you? It's the same, or is it different?
It's different.
Yeah. And some people would say it's that it's the same.
It's the same, right.
Yeah,
everybody's
you know
truth's different. Yeah, because everybody's truth's different.
Yeah, and so we like to just chew on all kinds of these, you know. Another time I used to have like a thing that was like 100 and some odd questions, you know, just random questions, eh?
Yeah.
And I would just jump through and randomly pick, you know what I mean? Like, do you believe in aliens, or how do you, whatever, you know what I mean? and just crazy questions like that. And sometimes that sparks a conversation too, So, so anyway, we can talk about it off air. I do appreciate your time very much. You did an awesome job, and I know that everybody likes having you here, and everybody really thinks you fit in very well. So, you guys can go and like Pamela's Facebook page there, facebook.com/guided by spirit. And I had put the link in there for you, and I will again. Just give me one more second here. And poof, there we go. So again, thank you. And hopefully I'll be able to be in touch with you about a future time for you to come on.
Hey, that sounds great. I would love to do this once a month.
Oh, perfect. You rock. So listen, go to CuriousTimes.ca, www.CuriousTimes.ca, and you'll be able to see, I have my calendar there, and you'll be able to see that there's repeating, like I have a lot of Fridays, a lot of Sundays, I have some Mondays, I have I have like one Tuesday a month, one Wednesday a month. I have lots of Sundays and lots of Fridays. So whatever, and pick a day, pick one of those days that works best for your schedule, and we can figure it out.
Okay. I'll look at my schedule and get back to you.
Thanks, Pamela. I appreciate it. You have a great rest of the night, okay?
All right, you too.
Thank you. All right, guys. And so now, I don't know, you guys, if there's going to be a overtime or not. It's going to be up to you. And so I'm going to play a quick little song, and we can figure out whether you guys are calling for overtime or whether we're getting out of here or what the heck we're doing. And let me see, what shall I play? What shall I play? I haven't heard. No. Here. This is a dumb one. I should find the chicken dance. Ring my bell. I know, right? It's so bad, it's funny. Sorry, Stan. I looked and I didn't notice that you were still there. It was an oversight on my part. Okay, kids, so we're going to do overtime, but I do want you to, Dolores sent me this clip. I'm going to play it now on the show. Thank you. Because through the Miracle voice meter, I can just play it right from the message that she sent me. So this will be once forward and 3 times in reverse, in different speeds in reverse. So let's see what this is. Nothing. Nothing. Hey, man. It's not playing. Not playing. Oh. Not playing. That file is not playing. You drag and drop it in Skype for me. It's not playing. Just she sent it on Facebook. Anyway, okay, who's there? Unmute your damn selves. Mercury's over, I think. Mercury's over. I think Mercury retrograde is over.
Is it?
Who's that?
It's me with my little fairy voice.
I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies.
Is there a fairy in this room?
It's me with my little fairy voice.
It's not over to the 22nd, Mercury retrograde. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Christy, are you unmuting or are you just going to be antisocial? Eric? Very small virtual world. So, man, when I guess some of you guys that were here right at the beginning. Oh, Amy, unmute yourself. Push 1. Like when I ran out right before the show and I grabbed a bunch of stuff high in chlorophyll and vitamin C, and I made this like god awful
excuse me, sorry.
Guzzled it, and I guzzled half of it. It was quite a bit, and I was like feeling a little bit crazy, strange as most nutrients to hit my system all at once, probably. And my body was going through what's up. Well, I gotta. For archive listeners, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We have Barbara DeLong on for a discussion show tomorrow, so thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.